Chupacabra, Darkness in the Campground. My name is Jake Moreno, a former agent of the FBI's Paranormal Phenomena Investigation Unit, a division most people don't even know exists. After 17 years chasing down what the government wants hidden, I retired and moved to a quiet wooden cabin in New Mexico, thinking it would be the final, peaceful chapter of a life spent chasing darkness. Until the phone rang at 3 a.m. On the other end was the voice of a woman, choked, panicked, Luisa Rivas, a mother I had once helped. Jake, it's Toby. He's gone missing in the Valle forest. They said it was a bear, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't. I had never heard her so afraid, and I understood that fear, because I had seen things no ordinary person should ever see. I hung up, loaded my old Glock, and drove straight to El Valle. The El Valle campsite is deep in the woods near the Mexican border. The locals used to call the area land without souls, a place where even sunlight couldn't reach the forest floor. When I arrived, nightfall was creeping in and the air reeked of decay. The local search team had given up after 2 fruitless days. They believed Toby, a 13-year-old boy, had gotten lost and was taken by wild animals. But I'd seen disappearances like this before, and they were never random. I went into the forest alone, not to search for someone, but to look for signs. And I found exactly what I feared. A dead goat, bloodless, its skin shriveled like a dried grape, with 2 tiny punctures in its throat. No claw marks, no footprints, no blood trail. I had seen this before, back in 2008 on a farm in Farmington, and it wasn't caused by a wolf, bear, or any natural predator. Back then, the case was closed with a single sentence: unidentified phenomenon, not for public disclosure. But within the agency, we had a name for it: Chupacabra. I remembered the look in Miguel's eyes, Toby's friend, when I asked him questions. The boy stared at the ground, trembling. It walked on 2 legs, really fast. It didn't have eyes, but I felt it watching me. Then I found a trail through the underbrush. Drops of blood on leaves, ending suddenly at a large rock, as if the earth itself had swallowed Toby. No drag marks, no screams. I returned to the camp at dusk. Luisa was sitting with her knees hugged to her chest, eyes empty of tears. I asked her one last time if Toby had said anything strange before he disappeared. She hesitated, then said he saw someone in the woods, a tall, skinny figure with skin like a lizard crawling in the trees, but he thought it was just a friend playing tricks. I knew it wasn't a trick, and I needed proof. The next night, I brought a live goat in a trap cage, set up motion sensor and infrared cameras. I stayed awake all night in the forest. At 2:47 a.m., the alarm went off. The camera only caught a silhouette, no face, but it walked on 2 legs, hunched, head low. It approached the goat and killed it in 4 seconds. No sound, no screeching, no blood spray, just 2 punctures. Then it vanished into the darkness. At the site, I found drops of a pale blue fluid on the stone. Not blood, but something like plasma, slimy, cold, and faintly glowing. I collected samples and sent them to Elena Chu, a synthetic biology PhD who'd worked with me years ago. 3 days later, she called, voice tense, "Jake, this thing, it's not natural. Part of its genome is bat, part is reptile, but there's a sequence I've never seen before. Not human, not animal. It looks engineered." I felt a chill down my spine. "You mean it was created?" Elena replied, voice dropping. "Not just created. It was intentionally hybridized, and worse, it has biological adaptation abilities. It can shapeshift." That same day, Toby returned. A 13-year-old boy emerged from the forest, clothes in tatters, face smeared with mud. Police found him wandering near the campsite, muttering, "I'm hungry." He was taken to the local hospital. Doctors said he was in shock, had no memory. But I didn't believe that. I entered his room at midnight. Toby was asleep. I carried a small mirror. According to old DIST files, a shape-shifted chupacabra doesn't reflect correctly in mirrors. I held the mirror up. What I saw was not Toby, but a gaunt creature, gray-skinned, mouth full of razor teeth, eyes glowing red, grinning at me. I stepped back, heart pounding. The boy lay still, as if in deep sleep, but I knew whatever was in that room was no longer human. The next morning, 3 unmarked black SUVs arrived at the hospital. Agents in black suits, no name tags, took Toby away. They didn't need to explain. They had power no one dared question. I followed. The convoy stopped at a research facility hidden in the forest. I'd infiltrated places like this before. I knew how to sneak in through the drainage systems. Inside, I found a secure archive room. On one hard drive, I found a file labeled Project Hydra. Its contents froze me. Chupacabra is the result of a top-secret biological experiment initiated in 1992 at Fort Detrick. Objective: create a nocturnal attack organism. Silent, traceless, highly survivable. Outcome: uncontrolled escalation. Subject 27 has escaped. At the bottom was a chilling note. Biomimicry phase successful, now capable of imitating humans for short periods. I left the facility with video footage and files. A few days later, I uploaded everything online, the camera footage showing Toby transforming, scientific data, genetic evidence. But within hours, it was all wiped. My account was locked. I received one anonymous email. You have been warned, this story is not allowed to exist. I know I'm being watched, but I'm not writing this to survive. I'm writing this so someone out there knows the truth does exist, and it's not in the textbooks. Chupacabra is not a myth. It is the consequence of mankind tampering with something it should never have touched, the power to create soulless life. If you've ever seen someone who's no longer themselves, if you've ever felt watched when you're all alone, remember, not everything that looks human is human.